Hello, and my second book is The Sheep in Wolf's Clothing. Utopia was not comfortable in her own wool. She always needed to hide it in an outfit, and she spent a lot of money on her clothes, but no one paid any attention. She attempted to dazzle the rams, but Rambunctious, Ramshackle, and Rumpelstiltskin barely blinked. She even tried to shock the other ewes, but Eucalyptus, Utensil, and Heyu hardly noticed. This lack of attention annoyed Utopia like a bad itch. And then one day she got invited to a costume ball. Yes, this was her chance. She'd have the finest costume in Pastorland and outshine every last one of them. In a frenzy of excitement, she tried on 57 costumes. Her clothes-changing muscles were aching, almost worn out. And then she put on number 58. Well, that settled it. This was the one. She loved the way the fur was warm, and she loved the shiny fangs, and especially the way the long clawed paws swung attractively when she walked. Everyone would notice her now. And that night when she got there, her heart was aflutter. She waited for someone to invite her to dance, and she waited and waited. And while she waited, the ewes and rams did sheep trots and waltzes and gathered in small groups to point and whisper. Bad taste. Yep, faulty judgment. One wonders what sort of family she comes from. What a cotton-brained idea. And then all of a sudden, as the sheep waltzed and whispered, and Utopia waited, a stranger entered the ballroom, a handsome stranger, a charming sheepish grin, and wool so lovely it looked fake. The sheep were so taken with the beauty of this creature that none of them stopped to wonder why a sheep would go to a costume ball dressed as a sheep. The flock gawked at her. And Utopia approached the stranger, and the stranger approached Utopia. And from under his sheep costume, he could see the fur, the fangs, and the long, sharp claws. It had to be. "Mother, mother," he said. "Mother?" she thought beneath her costume. "Mother? He thinks I'm his mother? Mother, I thought you were away on a lamb hunt." "A lamb hunt?" She found this puzzling, but she did need a partner, so the dance began. "Ah, mother, mother," the stranger growled in one ear, "I've missed your home cooking, especially the ewe stew with ram ramen." And then he growled in both ears, "Let's grab a couple of fat ones and go home and eat sheep." She sensed something was wrong. Eat sheep? What kind of a creep would eat sheep? And for the first time, she noticed her ex-partner's long, sharp claws and extremely hairy feet. And then it hit her. She had not been dancing with a sheep dressed as a sheep at all. She had been dancing with a real wolf, big, bad, and mistaking her for his mother. This varmint posed a danger not only to her, but to all of them in the ballroom. Indeed it did, for just then he ripped off his costume and said, "Come on, mother, let's eat." And with that he snatched Eucalyptus, Utensil, and Heyu, and he stuffed him into a sack. The Williams gasped in horror and ran for their lives. What to do? What to do? No time for woolly-brained thoughts. She paced in circles. "Mother, mother, he thinks I'm his mother." Then she stood up as straight as she could in her foolish costume. She lowered her voice to a growl and she said, "Sonny dearest, I have a surprise for you." "Surprise?" growled the wolf. He loved surprises, and he would have squealed, but wolves aren't good at squealing. She did not know what the surprise would be, so she had to stall for time. So she tried to think of motherly things to say. First, my son, before the surprise, you must take a bath, brush your fangs, and clean your claws. But Ma! And then after that, you must do your homework, all of it. Mommy! Then, sonny boy, you must clean your room. Well, that did it. He threw himself onto the floor and into a full-blown, out-of-control tantrum. I won't, he kicked his feet. You can't make me, he pounded his furry fists. I don't have to, so there. So great was his tantrum that he was completely exhausted and unable to move. And then that's when she knew to tell him the surprise. She flipped off her furry costume and she said, "Surprise! I'm a you!" The wolf opened one eye. "You're not a me. I'm a me. You're a you." "That's what I said. I'm a you." "Who's a who?" The wolf was flustered, and Utopia repeated, "I'm a you." This was just too much for the wolf's small brain to process. Muttering, "I'm not a you, you're a you, I'm a me. I came in as a me and I'm going to leave as a me." He dragged himself out the door, forgetting all about dinner. And then he howled, and then he said, "And I'm never, ever going to clean my room." And with a stomp and a thomp, he was gone. Eucalyptus and Utensil and Hey You scrambled out of the sack and they hugged Utopia. Everyone in the ballroom sang out, "What kind of a creep would eat sheep?" And for the rest of the evening, she had a ball. She danced with Eucalyptus and Rambunctious and Utensil and Ramshackle and Hey You and Rumpelstiltskin, and she felt entirely comfortable in her own wool. And if you guys have any special requests, let me know. Have your parents tell me. I miss you guys. Keep being great kids. Bye.